Flight on the historic route. As the first light of morning touched the hangars of the small airfield, Leo awoke, as usual, to the sound of birdsong. The wind caressed the wild grass on the runway, and distant mountains winked from behind violet clouds. This was not just an airfield, it was where Leo's heart beat, a playground filled with childhood memories, scented with the aroma of engine oil. Leo was passionate about the sky. Though only 10 years old, he flew his grandfather's inherited orange plane on weekends. Mechanic Thomas, the wise caretaker of the airfield, had repaired the plane for Leo and taught him the intricacies of flying. "The sky rewards patience," Mechanic Thomas would say, trying to temper Leo's excitement. That day was no ordinary day. Sitting in his chair in front of the hangar, Mechanic Thomas sighed deeply. Stroking an old pilot's jacket in his hands, he murmured, "Henry, we'll finally meet." Leo had heard the name before, the blue-eyed pilot from Mechanic Thomas's youth, whose adventures he'd listened to in stories and seen in old photographs. He had called last night, announcing his visit after all these years. Mechanic Thomas heard a familiar engine rumble in the sky. A silver, single-seater plane, vintage yet impeccably maintained, glided down to the runway. A white-haired man stepped out of the cockpit, his hair fluttering in the wind. Mechanic Thomas's eyes welled up. "Henry, after all these years?" Mr. Henry froze when he saw Mechanic Thomas, then broke into a wide smile. "Thomas, my old friend. I've been circling the globe for years. Finally, we've reunited." Leo watched this magical moment in awe. Mechanic Thomas embraced Mr. Henry. "Leo, this is my fearless old friend Henry. In our youth, we flew together and challenged the skies," he said. Mr. Henry laughed heartily and pulled a weathered map from his pocket. "One route remains, Thomas," he declared. "The historic path to the northern mountains and the lake. I never flew it. That's why I'm here." Mr. Henry turned to Leo and pointed at the orange plane. "Thomas told me about you. We could complete this historic route together. What do you say?" Leo's heart raced. Mechanic Thomas placed a hand on his shoulder. "You can trust Henry, Leo. He's one of the most skilled and experienced pilots you'll ever meet." Overwhelmed, Leo replied, "Really? It would be an honor." The next morning, Leo and Mr. Henry took off in their small plane. The route passed over towns, valleys, forests, and rivers. Leo carefully steered the plane, applying every lesson he'd learned. The journey was smooth and beautiful until they entered a valley. The sky suddenly clouded and the wind grew fierce. Over the radio, Mr. Henry reassured him, "Stay calm, Leo. We'll get through this together." Leo took a deep breath and focused. The wind tossed the plane gently from side to side. Leo's hands grew sweaty. The sky turned ink black with storm clouds. "Climb, Leo," Mr. Henry called over the radio. Leo pulled the yoke upward, following Mr. Henry's lead. Their planes ascended above the clouds and everything brightened. The sun turned their wings to gold. As they flew above the clouds, they chatted over the radio. Mr. Henry shared tales of his youth. Back then, technology wasn't this advanced. Everything was harder, he said. Leo listened in wonder, admiring his courage. Soon, the storm clouds lay far below. "The sky is so beautiful," Leo exclaimed. Mr. Henry smiled. "Yes, Leo. The sky is always full of new hopes and dreams." As they continued their journey, Leo suddenly felt a slight tremor in the plane's engine. "Mr. Henry, the engine sounds a bit strange," he said anxiously. Mr. Henry remained calm. "Don't worry, these things happen. If there's a problem, we'll solve it together," he replied. Leo drew strength from his reassurance. Leo checked the oil gauge and noticed it was running low. Hearing this over the radio, Mr. Henry studied his map. "There's a village ahead where I used to land. Let's go there," he said. The planes descended onto a small clearing. Villagers gathered around them. An elderly woman smiled warmly. "Mr. Henry, you used to bring us medicine years ago. Welcome back." Leo opened the engine cover. The oil filter was clogged. A farmer brought a clean cloth, and together with Mr. Henry, they cleaned the filter. "That's all it needed," Mr. Henry declared. Leo sighed in relief. "This journey isn't just a flight. It's a story of friendship and courage," he said. They restarted the engines and took off again. As the two planes glided along the historic route, massive mountains with steel-grey cliffs rose below, their peaks adorned with silvery streaks of melting snow. At their center lay a turquoise lake, its waters sparkling like a lost jewel. Sunlight fractured into thousands of diamond-like shards on the surface, as if inviting the sky to dance with the earth. Mr. Henry's voice crackled over the radio. "There it is, Leo. I've longed to fly over this lake since I was young. Its waters shine like a forgotten treasure." Leo gazed out the window. At the lake's edge stretched a green meadow dotted with wildflowers. As the wind brushed the plane's wings, a tear slipped from Mr. Henry's eye, a silent tribute to the historic route. When they finally reached the endpoint, the sky blushed with violet and orange hues. Mr. Henry broke the radio silence. "Thank you, Leo. My dream came true because of you." Gripping the yoke of his orange plane, Leo smiled. "Every moment we flew together made this route even more beautiful, Mr. Henry." Back at the airfield, Mr. Henry buzzed with youthful excitement. "Completing this journey with a young pilot like you is special to me," he said. Leo replied, "Flying with you and sharing this adventure was unforgettable." Mr. Henry handed Leo an antique compass from his youth. "This is yours now. Go discover new routes." This adventure etched itself into Leo's heart like the endless blue of the sky. On every flight thereafter, the compass and the memory of that shimmering lake accompanied him. The joy of flying remained as pure as mountain snow and as boundless as the horizon. Leo now knew, when dreams become reality, the heart feels as light and free as a bird. And so, young pilot Leo continued to explore new horizons with courage. Every trail he left in the clouds was not just a route. It became a tale of patience, triumph, and the undying light of dreams.